Morning. Welcome to another episode of the Insomniacs Workshop. Well, it is 2:38 in the morning, so yep, we're living up to our standards. Having a nice insomniac morning. I've had a nice cup of coffee. I'm fixing to go have another one. Anyway, so what brings us here today? Let's see. Today, let's talk about, here's a nice one, practice mindfulness. That's a good one. Mindfulness it always seems to be like a topic du jour. You know, everybody's always talking about mindfulness this, mindfulness that. If you've watched very often, you know I'm a big avid long distance runner. I have been since the 70s. Mindfulness really comes into it, just goes naturally with that. So you got to think about what you're doing, and it puts you in that frame of mind. Mindfulness is basically paying attention to things. Being focused, but not exactly laser focused, but just being attentive to everything. And of course, you can narrow it down. But let me give you an example of mindfulness and where it's important. I'm one of those guys that if I don't, classically, when people leave to go on vacation, hey honey, turn off the coffee pot. Well, we don't have to worry about that because everybody's got a Keurig. It turns off by itself. But I do that, that kind of thing. I leave the house, I get in the truck, and I think, self, did I lock the door, the front door? And sometimes I get out and look. The only way I can change that is pay attention. And I learned this a long time ago. And somebody said, I learned it like when I was learning about mnemonics, if you know what that is, but of course you do. When you do something that you have an issue with, like the coffee pot or keys, tell yourself, I'm now locking the door. I'm now turning off the coffee pot. It sounds stupid, sounds childlike. It works. You go through your day with confidence. You don't have to backtrack. Another thing of mindfulness, my grandfather, he went through his whole life. He was a cafe owner, cook, butcher, and this is the thing. He was a butcher and a cook for a long time, off and on, different roles, of course. The man ended up with about, I think 2.5 fingers less than he was born with. Meat cleavers will do that. And if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, that may happen. Mindfulness is so important. If you do it, it's not easy. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do because you have to keep focusing on it. You have to refocus on it. You just don't do it once and you're doing it. But the rewards are incredible. It takes a while. You start focusing on it every day. Just think about what you're doing on every task you do. Every task, driving especially. Pretty soon, you'll start to notice the world in a completely different way. Your attitudes will change. The way you look at things will change. You'll have a better perspective. When people feed you a load of horse manure on the news about this candidate, that candidate, this environmental concern, that environmental concern, you'll see the spin. It's not to say you'll change your stance. If you're a big bleeding heart lib, if you're a hardcore MAGA conservative, it doesn't matter. You may not change those things, but you'll understand when somebody's trying to spin you from outside or from within inside. And that's important because you have a sole responsibility for yourself, okay? Nobody's going to watch out for you. This group is going to tell you you're part of us and we're going to take care of you. That group's going to tell you the same thing. It's not true. Mindfulness will do it for you. You'll learn about yourself. Okay? Just do it. Go through just today do it. Okay? And if it works out, think about it at the end of the day. Try it again. Everything you do, when you prepare your food, when you drive your car, when you brush your teeth, it's the most important job you will ever do. For that moment. And then you move on to another one. But you will open your eyes, my friend. Diviértate, okay? Look, I'm going to sign off now because I got to go make another cup of coffee with my Keurig. That's right. And I'm not going to worry about it turning off because it's on automatic. I can afford to be a moron Yeah, I can use that word. I am not woke. Go through the day, have fun, do not be woke, pay attention. Remember to subscribe. I got a lot more good stuff. I got more fiction coming up if you like fiction stories. I'm pretty good. Yeah, I don't discount it. Many years experience. Anyway, enough about me. Tell me about yourself. Bye. Adios. Que te vaya bien, my friends.